I'm on to another step on finishing up my G23vtec, the build. I got everything all pretty lined up here and all pre-lube and everything. My weapon of choice, I'm using a timing belt made by Gates. I got this on my local O'Reilly Auto Parts store, and this is what I'm gonna use for my balance shaft. Yeah, I just don't want to spend a lot of money on the blue ones for racing applications. This only cost me like $30, and it's served me well. Just make sure when you guys will gonna put this on, just make sure all the surfaces are all clean, no nicks or burr or anything. So if it's got one, you can just polish them off or use the file or sandpaper, and that goes the same well on the cam caps. If you run your fingernails and it cuts, you can just use scrub it with maybe a 2000 sandpaper or emery cloth. That goes the same thing here. Make sure all the surfaces are clean. But before I continue building this motor, I just want to clear out something. As far as like my instructions video on how to build this Frankenstein motor is nothing but a tool or a guide or an idea. There is no way or in any form to replace the accuracy and the proper procedures and techniques using your service manual. So always it's either buy or download something from the internet like I did. That way you have all the documentation in your hand for anything that you need. Alright? So the goal for today is to install the camshafts and put a timing belt, and hopefully I will run into something that the belt would not go in as normal as it should be. It's gonna be tight. You will able to put it on, you'll find a way, but I will show you how to make it a lot easier by doing something on this. And so let's do it. We're getting closer, guys. Too bad I can't put this on by October. 3 more months. It'll be on there. It'll be in the car. I'll be boosting. Plus I got plenty of things to do. I have shown you guys on the last episode. This thing is touching the block. See, it's offset right now. It's not even sitting good. So like I said, I thought about cutting this off, but I'll find out later on. I have another manifold, the third one that I made. Maybe I'll show it to you guys later on if I have the time. If not, maybe just on pictures. I sure hate to, I sure really like to use additional support mounts, because this thing puts out a lot of torque. Let's build this thing. Timing gear on there for the crank, all lined up. I got it all top dead center. I got this thing pinned. The lock is inserted, and balance shaft all lined up. The line marks is aligned to the oil pump, like so. That's per Honda instructions. Line up the set pointer on the oil pump, just like exactly how it is. Okay. And I already got the seal right there, and this is the exhaust. And kind of lined up the arrow pointing up. This arrow right here. So both of them got one. And then the end plug, always put on a sealant. You can put as much as you want. The less it leaks, the better it is. Okay. Now on the center of the H22 head, it would have a nozzle, like a little plug, a restrictor. It will be something like this. And always replace the O-ring when you put it on, and then you put another one on top of it. Don't forget, it's important to have that O-ring on there because that will affect your oil pressure also. And quick tip, this plug on if you have a H23 block, a non-VTEC one, on the block there's also a restrictor that you have to remove if you're gonna put a H22 head. Don't throw away those restrictor because you can turn those restrictor into this. All you need to do is just machine it and shave some material so you can put some O-rings. It'll fit in. I've tried it. I've already done it. So now for the caps, always put a little bit of a sealant. Not too much, just enough to cover. That goes here. These are numbered. It has a year right there. It's got it's the number 1, and one is it's got number 4, I think. Let's see it. So this goes like so. This one. Just make sure you put the camshafts, make sure you put it in the same location where you got it from. It's very important. It's something to do with the journal. If you happen to put this backwards, it won't line up. It's almost like a foolproof. So this is number 1. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that was for the cams. And again, we'll put a sealant here. Let me see, we just read this one. You can't mix this. Why I said that is because of the this hole right here for the transfer tube. Let me show you. One of the transfer tube, there's 2 transfer tube here. There's this one and there's one here. Right there. One is taller than the other. You can see it right here. And the hole is the same thing. So one hole is deeper than the other. So if you put that on, plus you will know once you put it on, you would not have the ear to secure your valve cover, so you know you messed up. Okay, now it's this. If you tear down one of these, make sure to clean up the faceplate and make sure those holes are not plugged, because that's your oil supply right there. And I don't know if you guys notice it, on new beginners, when you put this on, that has to line up. These 2 holes has to line up on. These 2 holes has to line up on one of these. So if you got it backwards again, it's a foolproof. But I have put this on backwards before. I know something was up. Something's not right. And as far as torquing this, there is a sequence torquing this bad boy, this bolts. You can try not to use the impact, especially when you're removing it, because you could pull off the threads. And when you torque this thing, be careful also, because you could easily either stretch the bolt or pull the threads off. It's always inside first, then you go out. Just hang tight for now. I just want to bring it down. Kind of go easy, because you could also break your cams, because now you're putting pressure on your on the spring, the camshaft. You know, the lobes. It's not really entirely straight. Now you're buttoning everything, and it's pressing down what valves need to be open. It will be open after this, after you torque everything down. torque on this. There. 19 pounds a foot, and the small one is 9 pounds a foot. 19. Just be careful when you do this. You just you have to really kind of feel it. Like this one here. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Sometimes one bolt is okay. Now the small one, 108. It's up just a little bit. You can see it's lined up there, and then when you come down here, it could use just a little, but it's on there. But I have no problem with it. I think I'll make it. It'll be okay. But it'll be nice if I could use an adjustable timing gears. So I think that's it as far as like installation of the timing belt and the balance shaft. But right here is the other manifold that I was telling you guys about. This still doesn't have